Jenny from Owl About Yarn, and instead of a regular podcast, I decided to try recording more of a vlog, documenting how I get ready for a yarn show. So I've just had Wonderwool, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. But in a week and a half, I'm off up to Staffordshire for Wool at J13. It's the first time I'm going to that show, but I've got it on good authority from people who went last year that it's a really, really nice show. And I'm running a little bit low on yarn. So this morning I laid out all of the undyed yarn that I have in stock at the moment. And I'm going to start working my way through it, making it all pretty colours today. So for those of you who haven't watched any of my podcasts and vlogs before, thank you very much for giving me a go. And for those of you who have watched me before, who've seen me on Zoe's Pins and Needles podcast, thank you for watching me again. You can find me everywhere online as Owl About Yarn, in pretty much all of the places, although I do prefer Ravelry and Instagram. And you can email me at hello@owlaboutyarn.com if you have any questions. So yeah, this is today's work. Now, I'm not going to get through all of this today, that would be craziness. But I think I'm going to be dyeing up some of my double knit and sparkly double knit today. And if I get through that, I will think about what I'm going to do next. But that's as far as I've got so far. So Wonderwool last weekend. It was lovely. Wonderwool is our home show. It's the nearest one to us. And it's our favourite. I know you're not supposed to play favourites, but it's our favourite. Because, I think it's just because we know it so well. We've been going as visitors for years, since probably about, I think I've been going for about 8 years. And I've exhibited, this was my 3rd year. And it's got so much space, and the people are so friendly, and it's so well organised. It's just a pleasure to go to. So we were there. Unfortunately, I wasn't on at my best energy-wise and health-wise. So if you went, you will have seen me sitting down quite a lot because I was just exhausted. I was a bit poorly a couple of weeks back, which you might have seen on Instagram. It culminated on me being on very, very strong antibiotics, which completely wiped me out. I've just been so tired for the past fortnight. It's just been ridiculous. And I was ill for a week before that as well. So the run up to Wonderwool was a shambles. I didn't manage to dye anything. I did manage to sew, so I could do things where I was sitting down and working. But I couldn't heft around pots of dye and pots of yarn and wet yarn, and just the thought of it was exhausting. So I did quite a lot of sewing and beading with my stitch markers and such like. And it made me really sad that I couldn't interact as well as I usually do at a show, and that I had to sit down so much because I was just, jiggling the camera, because I was just so tired. But I really didn't have any more in me. So the plan for the next week and a half before Wool at J13, now that the antibiotics are done, is to eat a lot of vitamins, get a lot of sleep, try and be a bit sensible and not work all hours of the day and night, and dye some things. I can't tell you, I've been, well, excuse the pun, but I've been dying to get into my dye pots. It's going to be just lovely. I can't wait. And I've got a list of colourways that I want to put on these skeins. So that is going to be so good. One thing I'm really, really hoping will be different when we get to Wool at J13 is the weather. It wasn't too bad rain-wise. And we did have some nice blue skies in between things at Wonderwool. But it was freezing. So cold. Everybody talked about how cold it was. I don't think it was quite as cold as the year I missed when I had Erin, when people were wearing everything off their stalls and things. But it was cold. and I had to take the mittens off the stand that were by my pattern that I've got for sale to wear them, and I had 2 shawls on and my windproof coat because there was a bit of a breeze going through the barns and I was still freezing cold. So I'm really hoping that the weather gets a bit more typical of the time of year by the time we get to Wool at Junction 13 the weekend after next, because it's in Marquise, which will be lovely if it's typical May weather, but if it's like it was last weekend I think I'm going to do what somebody else did. I heard somebody else at Wonderwall was wearing their pyjamas under their clothes. I think that's a genius idea. And I think I have some thermal leggings, so they'll have to be put on as well as a proper vest and proper woolly layers all over. Hat down to my feet will just have to be wool. I think that's the way forward. But at least I have a plan. And yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it because it sounds like it's a bit different to other shows that I've been to. It sounds a bit more of a festival atmosphere rather than just not just, you know, but rather than the yarn festival with the stalls, and I don't know, it just sounds like it's going to be fun. And lots of people that I know are going to be there as well, so it's going to be a bit of a reunion again, which these things generally are. So that'll be fun. But the challenge is it coming so close after Wonderwall. So after a show, I usually stock take straight away and get everything back up in the shop. Well, I haven't done that because, having been so ill, I basically slept through Monday. I was so tired. I can't emphasise enough how tired I was. Anyway, and now I'm umming and ahhing about whether to stock take and get the shop back online or whether to leave it until after Wool at Junction 13. I'll have to decide about that today. Yesterday, I worked on retreat things all day for our knit tea retreat that Zoe and I are organising, but not for the first one, for the second one. So there are going to be some fun things coming up in the next few months. News on the second retreat. And what else was I doing yesterday? Well, I was doing lots of admin things. I was working on a couple of patterns that I'm waiting to release, so I'm hoping to send them to my tech editor in the next couple of days. And I was rescaling some gradients that I've dyed up, so I was winding them into cakes because I think you can see really nicely when you can see the gradient coming from the middle out to the outside. So I've got quite a few of them left to skein up before Wool at Junction 13, but I've got plenty of time. So I say plenty of time, I've got about 9 days. There's plenty in there, plenty. And yeah, that was yesterday. So yesterday was a very productive admin-y day, but today needs to be a very productive dyeing day. And that's where I am here. So over the course of this vlog, my plan is to show you some of the processes involved in getting me ready for a show. Not all of it is very glamorous. A lot of it involves my family not being allowed in my kitchen because I have to clear out my kitchen of anything to do with foodstuffs, as you can imagine. So I try to dye when my family are out. My husband isn't very keen on me dyeing when he's home. But we do have the bank holiday weekend coming up, and he's actually taking 2 of the kids and going to my brother-in-law's house, which will give me some extra time. So my oldest son is staying home because he has some AS level exams coming up, and he and I will basically coexist, making each other cups of tea and sandwiches, and we'll order a takeaway for tea. So it will be very low maintenance in the kitchen that weekend, which will be excellent. And then next week will be me frantically dyeing up until the last possible minute that I think I can get it all dry, labelling, rescanning, and then packing. So I will keep you posted on my progress, and I will show you as much as I can without getting too dull, because you know, you've seen one dye pot, you've seen them all, so you don't want to see all of it going on. But there we go. So I hope that you enjoy seeing me get ready for wool at junction 13, and I'll talk to you later. Hi! So I'm up to day 3 now of getting ready for wool at junction 13. I've got my big dye pans on the go, which if I just move, look, there's the 2 big pans that I use for dyeing the yarn. Behind me I've got some partly dyed yarn there waiting to be finished off, because I'm trying to be sensible and not work until the middle of the night. So I actually stopped last night with some part dyed yarn, which is very unlike me. So I had a good dyeing day yesterday. I dyed up lots of the merino silk yak yarn. I did lots of double knit, and I've just had a delivery of more yarn, so I can have even more double knit available at the show. So that's very exciting. Today I've got just a little bit of double knit left to dye up, and I've got some Sparkle Owl 4-ply soaking, waiting for my attentions, so that's today's job. Also, there's all sorts of other things that need to be done alongside it, because even though I'm getting ready for a show, the rest of the business still needs to be kept going. And there's changes in the law, which means that if you have email contact with your customers, like an email newsletter, you have to re-request permission to email them. It's just to make sure that information is handled properly, and we store your email addresses properly and everything. But I use a service called MailChimp to send out my newsletters, and so they really handle all of that, and the email I've sent out is more of a pro forma. But if you are on my newsletter list and you haven't seen that email, please check in your promotions folder, which is where my newsletters usually end up when I get them from other people, just to make sure that you don't miss out on that, because I do want to be able to keep in touch with you, and I hope that you want to keep in touch with me. So more dyeing today, I've got some flyers to make up for the Knit Tea Retreat, because there's going to be some exciting news for that coming up in the next few weeks. And I think I'm going to start knitting something today out of my yarn, but I'll tell you more about that if and when I get round to it. So here's the merino silk yak yarn that I was telling you about. It's a fairly grey old day out there at the moment, although it is supposed to brighten up later, so I apologise for the slightly gloomy lighting in here. But yeah, I'm pleased with the colours as they've all come out. And this is all merino silk yak on here, so I've got this turquoisey colour, and a deep plum, and a rose pink, and this, which always makes me think of Zoe when I dye this yellowy, slightly green yellow. And then this one over here is navy blue with just a touch of green. Oh, that's too dark. You have to take my word for it. Navy blue with a very slight hint of green if you look at it the right way, but I'm happy with that as well. And then over here I've got, oh, the light's not letting me show you. This is some custom dyed DK, which I did for a customer, which is my Erin colourway, but she wanted a sweater quantity, so she wanted 8 skeins. So, oh, there you go, you can see it a bit better on there. So it's that purple and turquoise with the blues in it as well. And then I've done a solid purple. Please don't look at the weeds in my garden. A sort of raspberry pink red. That's redder than it's showing up. And then this green, which can you see it's on the Sparkle DK. Is the raspberry as well? Yes, the raspberry is as well, so that's got sparkles going through it, and it's got silk. Oh, and that's one more of the Tibetan yak, silk and merino, and that's a sort of deep brick red colour. So yeah, if I just let you look outside for a minute, as I say, ignore the weeds please. It's a bit greyer today. It was beautiful sunny skies yesterday, and I got all of this yarn pretty much dried outside, which is a very nice change because it's about the first time this year I've managed that. But the weather forecast does tell me that it's going to brighten up later, so here's hoping I'll be able to show you blue skies this afternoon. In the meantime, I'm going to be drying inside for the time being. Good morning. Today is Sunday, so we have 5 days to go. Although that's counting today, because Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, yeah. Counting today, 5 preparation days until I leave for Wool at Junction 13. Lots to do. But no, it's not too bad. I feel fairly under control. So I've managed to get loads of yarn dyed up the past couple of days, and it is beautiful outside. I'll take you out in a minute and show you, because the weather's just stunning and the yarn's getting dried in less than a day outside, which is perfect. So I'm getting to get so much done. I've got a fair bit of double knit dyed up now, and hopefully I'll finish off the rest of the double knit today. So I'm going through my colourways and working out where the gaps are, so that I've got a nice selection of all sorts of different colours. I've been doing some sparkle colourways. Yesterday was mainly sparkle, so I've got, now these all need to be reskeined, but I've got this brown and pink one. I've got this black and yellow, although the black's looking a little navy, so I'm not sure about that one. And sorry, wobbling the camera a bit. Oh yeah, I've got pinks and purples. And where's the one? Hang on a minute. Bear with. I've got to dig in my box. So I've got a box full down here. There's one at the bottom, nice bright. Somebody asked me at Wonderwool if I had anything like this, and I didn't, and I thought, I'll give it a go and see if I like it. Pink and orange, and they sort of melt into each other in the middle. So I've been busy, and then these are the double knits that are done so far, all skeined up on the table. You see, so all of this pile are merino silk and stellina, all of this row, and then that is also merino silk and stellina, and the two at the back, the purple and the turquoise, are superwash merino. This is for a custom order I think I showed you the other day, and that's ready to be sent off now, so I'll be emailing her later today. I'll take you outside. You can see it's brightening up. Hang on, I've got to step outside my door. And look, it's so bright and sunny. It's gorgeous. So this is what I've got drying. It's just finishing off. It's all but done. Nice blue tonal and thunderstorm. If you've been to a show, you'll see that I've got a shawl that's always hung up on my stand, and that's in this colourway, and it's purple, turquoise and navy blue. It's probably too bright to show you that. And then I've got a sort of bonfirey colourway at the back, and one more double knit in a green. So it's going well. And I've got probably today and tomorrow full dyeing days, and then the rest of the week will be other things. Stitch markers, what else? maybe a couple of tote bags, because the tote bags sold quite well at Wonderwool, so I might sew up a couple more of those towards the end of the week, but I'll leave them until all the yarn is labelled and ready to go. And that's going to be my day. But I do have a treat this afternoon. So my husband has taken my 2 younger children to visit his brother overnight, and left me and my oldest boy, because he's got some important exams coming up, so he stayed home to revise. And we are going to stop everything at 5 o'clock and have a TV marathon and a takeaway pizza and just chill out and have some fun for the evening. So I may well make some stitch markers while I'm sitting in front of the TV, just so I don't feel too guilty, or maybe I'll just sit and spin and knit. Who knows? Because, do you know what I found? Did I tell you yesterday? I found my Weasley sweater. Oh no, I didn't talk to you yesterday. I meant to, and then family got in the way, so I didn't get round to it. I found my Weasley sweater that I'd completely forgotten all about. So I really wanted to start my Angelus Novus the night before, and I went and I found the yarn, and I was going to cake it up, and I thought, no, there's no point unless I can find that I've got the needles for it. So I went looking, and they're in my Weasley sweater. And then I thought, oh, I can't put that on waste yarn and not knit it, because that would make about 3 sweaters that I've got on waste yarn waited to be knitted. So I've got to crack on and at least get the body done, and then maybe I can wait with the rest of it. Leave it waiting for sleeves while I knit my Angelus Novus, because I really want that now. Now that I've got that in my head with my yarn, I did a custom dye. It was supposed to be this one, only it went a little bit wrong and the purple came out a little bit too dark. Well, quite a lot too dark, and I wasn't happy with it, so I got in touch with the customer, and she wasn't in a rush anyway. So I said I'd re-dye it, and I'm going to keep the one that went slightly wrong. So happy ending, and I get a really nice cardigan out of it, which, if it's as cold next year at Wonderwool as it was this year, I'll be really glad of, because it's going to be a really comfy cosy. It's this yarn base, 100% merino DK, and it's quite a heavy DK as well. So yeah, I'll be really glad of that at cold festivals. Anyway, I better crack on, and I'll talk to you later. Good morning. I've been thinking, how real should I keep this podcast? How much of my behind the scenes should I be telling you about? Obviously I'm telling you about the dye pots, showing you all the yarn fresh out of the pans, but yeah, I'm having a lie-in. This is me relaxing, taking some time and just chilling out. It's Bank Holiday Monday. It's very quiet and peaceful here because 75% of my family have gone to visit other family, and the other 25% is upstairs still in his bed, although I can hear crashing, so I think he'll probably be up soon. And it looks to be a beautiful day outside, blue skies. It's my favourite time of year to have a lie-in. It's apple blossom and cherry blossom time, and there is an apple tree right outside my window. So when I look out, I see a tree covered in blossom and beautiful little pale green new leaves. Oh, I could sit here all day and just look at that. Had a lovely evening last night with just my eldest at home. We did a TV marathon. We've not watched Stranger Things before, and so we decided to give that a go. So we ordered in some pizza, stopped all work at 5 o'clock, and binge watched until bedtime. He was trying to persuade me to stay up till, I think he worked out it was going to be about 2 in the morning to finish the series, but I gave up about 11. We did finish the series of Supernatural first, so that's why it took so long. But yeah, I think we might get another episode of Stranger Things in with lunch today. Oh, excuse me. Oh. But yeah, I'm feeling very relaxed and chilled. So, nice peaceful start to my day. I have been up, I've had my breakfast, I've put some laundry on, making the most of the solar panels on the roof, harnessing the sunshine to work my washing machine for me. But yeah, I'll get going on my work shortly. So today I've got a little bit more dyeing to do, although I think today might be my last dyeing day. And then rescanning. And making some more labels, making sure that all my labels are ready for the yarn as soon as it's dry. And that's what today looks like. I hope you're having a wonderful Monday wherever you are, and if it's Bank Holiday Monday, I hope that it's sunny and as peaceful as mine. That was a really good day. I have finished my dyeing. I've still got some yarn undyed, but I think I'm going to save that for after the next festival. Maybe for after Wool at Junction 13. What's going in the sky? We get pleasure flights going overhead from Cardiff Airport. People in little, I don't know, 4-seater planes. Really should do one of those one day and look down and see where I live. Anyway, getting off topic. It's been a really good day. So I finished my dyeing for Wool at Junction 13. There's still a fair bit of preparation to do because I've got my rescanning, but I'm really happy with how it's all turned out. These sock blanks are sort of gradient-ish and self-striping type colourways. If I lift it up, can I lift it up so you can see over the top? Hang on. Yeah, you can see some more colours over there. I've got my eye on one or two to knit up myself as well, so maybe that'll be on Sunday. Yeah. Anyway, because I finished all of my dyeing and because I skeined up all of my gradients that were dry from before, I caked them all up. My reward is that I'm allowed to cast on my Angelus Novus tonight, so I've caked up my yarn for that, and I can get into it, and it's gonna be lush. Also today, I purchased a pattern which is newly out. Oh, I can't remember her name. She's Yarnison on Instagram. She's Jane something. I'll put the name of the pattern down below. But I've bought it because I can see it uses one skein of the main colour and then mini skeins or leftovers from other projects, and I can just imagine doing something really nice with leftovers from my yarns, so I'm excited to get into that. But I think I've got a bit of cast-on-itis at the moment because I want to cast that on as well, and I really should wait. So I think I'm going to get into the Angelus Novus tonight and see how that goes. Sadly, the Weasley sweater has fallen by the wayside again. I did finish the body of it, and the shoulders are seamed, so there's just the collar and the sleeves to go. But as we all know, sleeves do take quite a while. However, on the flip side, it's not going to be cold enough, hopefully, fingers crossed, touching wood. It's not going to be cold enough for my son to need a jumper and for another few months. So in theory, I have plenty of time to finish it before he'd want to wear it. Let's not mention that my daughter needs new school cardigans and things like that. I really, really want to knit myself my Angelus Novus. And I want to join in with the retreat knit along that we've got going on for Renee Callahan's patterns, and that's going to be my entry. So the yarn is caked, I've got the needles free, and I can get into it. It's going to be lovely. I even found the pattern. I thought I'd lost the pattern. I printed it out and took it to Zoe's house when we recorded her podcast, and then I couldn't find it for the life of me. But it was in a bag that I hadn't remembered using, and that's why I couldn't find it. So that's that. It's a lovely evening. I bet you can hear the bird song. Can you hear the church bells as well? What time is it? Just 7:45. There must be a late service going on or something. Usually the service is usually at 6 o'clock. Oh no, it's Monday. It's not Sunday. Oh, I'm all out because it was bank holiday and because my family were away. They're all back safely, by the way, so my house got noisy again. Monday is bell ringing practice. But that's nice to hear as well. So I think, because it's still so lovely and warm out here, I might bring my yarn needles out and a chair and enjoy the peace and quiet and the sound of the bird song and the bell ringing. Just one thing before I go. So apparently the weather is going to start getting... I know I've been obsessing about the weather, haven't I? I do obsess about the weather when I've got yarn to dye though, because it takes ages to dry if it's left inside. A lot quicker since I've had my spin dryer. So this morning I was telling you about the apple trees and the apple blossom. Can you see there? Let me see if I can get myself out of the picture. Can you see that apple tree? Probably not. But this one, if I stand underneath it. Hello bird. Hang on, tipping you. Can you see the blossom up there? It's so pretty. Oh, I've got a stick, hang on. I can lift you up. Hang on. Oh, bear with, I have a stick. I can lift you up and show you the blossom. I hope you can see that. But it's beautiful and I can't get it to focus on it properly. It's my favourite time, when all the trees are blossoming. It's just gorgeous. I'll have to take some nice pictures and put them in. So that's me done for the day. Tomorrow, possibly rescanning, starting some labelling. Yeah, I think that's going to be tomorrow's job. I do have to go grocery shopping though. We're running out of everything. Our fridge is frighteningly empty. I'm almost giving the kids air sandwiches for school tomorrow, but we have managed to find something to go in there, so... But yeah. So anyway, more tomorrow. Today has been mainly about rescanning and labelling. And look, I have found child labour. As Zoe says, child labour is what made this country great. Therefore, no harm in using some now and again. Are you going to want to be paid for doing this work?
No.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh. I thought I was going to get away with that then. How much are you charging me?
About £9.
Oh, are you going to do them all for me for £9?
Yes.
Oh, that's not too bad of a deal then. So she is rescanning at the moment some DK. Do you remember what the colourway's called? Begins with an A. No? Amethyst. And you can just see on the sofa over there that there are some already rescanned. Aha, thank you very much, Miss Erin. And yeah, so she's doing a cracking job. can get...
I'm one of them.
Yeah, well, you're on your second one, aren't you?
Yeah, the one.
And we've got wedding dress shows on the TV because Erin loves wedding dress shows, so that'll keep her happy. But that's my full box of labelled and rescanned things. And I've got...
There's the things that we need to be...
Yeah, under the Swift, you see, there's a little pile left to do. So, yeah, should be done by the time I go to bed tonight. These rescan quite quickly, the double knit ones, because they're... whoops, got away from you there. They're not so long as the 4-ply ones.
Second time.
Is it?
On this game.
Oh dear. Anyway, oh look, you've done. So I'll have to tie that one up now. Well done. Well, this is where our podcasts overlap.
They do a bit.
So I've been telling them some of how I get ready for a show.
Okay.
You've seen a bit of dyeing, a bit of yarn drying. They've had a bit of Erin winding yarn action.
Oh, I saw that you put some of that on Instagram.
Yeah.
That was very sweet.
Yeah, she was desperate to help. She is desperate to help. She says that she wants to be trained so that she's ready when she's grown up to come into the business.
Oh, bless her. That's what she wants to do.
She wants to push you out.
Oh. Wow. You could find her a job.
Anyway, as you can see behind me, everything's in the car. We're on the way.
Yeah.
You can see your bags in here. You can't see the gradients that are at the bottom, but they look nice. You have to take my word for it. And I did. It was all me. I did a good job packing this time.
You did?
There's even space I can see out the back window, which is unheard of.
I think it's because you're using the squishy bags rather than all of the boxes this time.
Yes. So all my yarn is in squishy bags instead of boxes. The boxes just kept on getting broken.
They're not actually that sturdy for a great deal of weight.
No, so I think I'm just going to move away from them and into the bags for general storage as well.
Those big IKEA. What are they actually for? Are they for storing your duvet out of season? And
yeah,
things?
they're under bed storage bags.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, but they're exactly the right width to lay skeins of yarn in.
Yeah.
And you get 10 across.
And they sit nicely on your trundly trolley thing as well.
Yeah, I didn't bring the trolley this time because I figured we're in a field.
That's a good point. Yeah, that would have been more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah. And I don't know how smooth the boarded floor is going to be inside the tent either, so reasonably smooth I would have thought, but yeah. I just thought it's not worth it. And I think we can park fairly near to the tent anyway. So I actually managed to get everything packed and ready to go last night.
Dun dun dun!
My glamorous assistant arrived early this morning, so we've had an earlier start than usual.
About 9:15 I made it, which wasn't bad.
Yeah, Erin was thrilled because she knew that Zoe was trying to come earlier today, and she was like, oh, can she bring me to school as well? Can she take me to school?
She didn't seem that fussed I was there though. It's just...
No, but she was bouncing around before you got there. She doesn't really show it very much.
Okay.
But she's quietly fizzing inside, so she was very happy because then it was about 20 to 9 and I was saying, right, 10 minutes until you get your shoes on, gotta go. She's like, but Zoe's not here, I can't go yet.
I made it.
Yeah.
Made it in time.
Yeah. So she was very happy about that. And she was showing off a bit. Like I say, she usually hangs on to me and doesn't let go, but she was diving off and being with her friends and that so she could look all cool in front of you.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, she was doing a thing.
Well, I'm honoured.
Yeah.
Kids are funny.
She's into school, the boys went off at their usual time. I got the car packed up.
Yeah.
Nearly all the way before Zoe arrived.
Super organised.
Made our cups of tea.
Forgot to put sugar in her tea.
It's alright, I brought sugar, it's fine. It all worked out.
It did.
And we're at Strencham Services. Would you do me the honour of a toilet review on my podcast?
Okay. Strensham services. I'm going to give it a 7.
I'd say that's fair.
The toilets were clean. There was loo roll. There was a hook. The toilet cubicles are made of like pretend fake marble, which I feel is quite classy.
They're numbered.
Are they?
I was looking when I was
It's worrying.
when I was drying my hands. I glanced up because I looked at you, which makes me look higher than usual.
Yeah.
And they've all got numbers above the doors.
How peculiar.
Yeah.
Plenty of soap. Nice hot
Yes.
water, although a few of the taps were knackered. And luckily very spacious, because just over there's like a 60-seater coach, absolutely packed with women in a vest with their name on it and a pink sash for a hen weekend, and it looks like it's going to be nasty.
Just as long as they're not going to Woolwich Junction 13 for their
I really hope they're not going to Woolwich Junction 13. I've never seen so much fake tan hair extensions.
Yeah, it was properly
and
on
nasty daggery nails. Yeah.
in one place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's going to be hair pulling and eye scratching before the night's out.
Imagine being that bus driver.
Yeah.
Don't envy him his job. You better get a
Anyway,
good
so
tip.
fortunately there was enough room in the ladies, and I use the term loosely, for everyone to circulate. So yeah, I'd give it a solid 7. Partly because I just have a sentimental attachment to it now. We often stop at Strensham, so I'm like, oh, Strensham. So yeah.
But it's still a wavy flush, not
Yeah.
a flushy flush.
That's a 7, not an 8.
Still no hope of a roller towel.
No, but very efficient hand dryers nonetheless.
Yes, the hand dryers actually worked.
Yeah.
And they were hot.
Didn't have to use my trousers or anything.
Oh dear. We've also just been taking painkillers.
Yes.
So
Drugs for
hoping
everyone.
that they'll set in. Me for a headache, and you for your SPD arthritis-y.
I'll be better when we're moving. Like sitting down isn't good for me.
Well, we're halfway. We've got, according to Google, an hour and 9 minutes left.
Yeah. What
So-
time did you say we can get in? 1 o'clock?
Yeah.
12:30. Or if we get there for about 12:30, then we can have lunch. Have a picnic lunch in the field before they let us in. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
If it's not raining. Don't know, it's a bit grey.
It'll be fine.
Bought my
It'll be
waterproof that
fine.
I have to climb into like a child because the zip's stuck at the bottom.
There's all these little things that just make my heart sing.
One of them is watching me get into my waterproof, is it?
Yeah.
Fine.
The zip broke at the bottom, and yeah.
In Edinburgh in March, and I still
You
haven't.
can't pull it over your head. It's not wide enough at the bottom to pull it over your head.
Well, you can, but that's even more awkward
Oh, okay.
to get. Well, you can have a go at getting into it if you like. If you can think of a more elegant way of doing it, I am open
I just
to
wondered if you could
suggestions.
pull it on like a jumper, if it'd be...
It's literally, the zip is all the way at the bottom
I know.
and stuck at the very bottom. So if you put it in over your head, you'd go, and it would just go thwomp, which I think would be even more irritating. So I'm stuck climbing into it like a romper suit. I try and do it in private.
Anyway, so as I said, there's a bit of a crossover because Zoe's already started her vlog of the trip to Woolwich Junction 13,
I have indeed.
and I'm just wrapping up this one by going ta-da!
Oh, you're going to
We're on
finish
the
your
way.
one here, are you?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'll put some pictures at the end of setup and things like that, but I figured that I'd leave it to you
Okay.
to do the actual vlog. So after you've watched this, go and find Zoe's vlog, which I will try and remember to link, although you won't have done it. Pins and Needles podcast channel, YouTube.
Yeah. It'll
Thingy.
probably be up Monday.
Yeah. So go and watch that for the continuing adventures.
Continuing adventures. What Zoe and Jenny did
Highlights.
next.
Will include our all-automatic Airbnb, which I'm really looking forward to seeing us struggle with. It's going to be so funny.
That's something out of Star Trek.
Yeah. And, yeah, the actual show.
The actual show. I'm going to interview Jo of Jo Nitzo.
Yeah, she's lovely.
She's really nice. She's going to show me her knickers. I'm going to make her show me her knickers.
So seriously, go and watch that vlog. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me and for watching me get ready for Woolwich Junction 13. and I will talk to you again soon. Bye. Thank you so much for watching my podcast. You can find me pretty much anywhere online as owlaboutyarn.com. I'd love it if you would give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any future episodes of the podcast. See you soon!